Hello everybody, welcome to TFTV. We're here to bring you ETF2L Season 29 week questionable, I'm not actually sure, but we are catching up with the games of Se7en that they missed out due to Rewind LAN, as I've already mentioned. Se7en against Rakuzan is the game today. I'm here with Wiethoofd on production, and with me is Eskimo.
How's it going, bros?
Eskimo, you might remember him from a little while back, working for Ascent EU, also from his glory days of playing for our Electro, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So
it's
a man of many talents. Oh yeah, the
intern for Se7en. I get their coffee and things like that.
Yes, can't forget about that. Well, we're here not for Ascent, not for our Electro, but for Se7en against Rakuzan. Like I mentioned, Se7en has to catch up with quite a few games due to not being in Europe for a little while there. So we'll see how they stack up against what the teams have to offer after their absence.
It's pretty. It's actually a pretty interesting game because they literally haven't scrimmed. So
yeah.
You know, it actually gives rise to the idea that something could go wrong for Se7en here. Like obviously they're the favorites in this official. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone, but you know, this could go any way. Like I know most of their players have barely even played TF2 since Rewind ended. So
yes, I think from what I heard, the keenest players are definitely Cadus and Amps. I think rumor has it that a couple of them will quit after the season or after next LAN, depending.
Well,
yeah.
What I heard is that I know Captain is definitely not playing. He's playing tonight. Like they still have a Captain and Drak tonight, but as far as I'm aware, like Captain is definitely quitting, and I think Cadus said it on his stream tonight that Drak is also going to be stepping down. So they're going to have to do some serious roster changes after this week, I guess. And you know, we'll see how the rest of the season goes from then. It seemed like it was going to be a Se7en dominant season, but these roster changes, you know, you never know what could happen.
Yeah, the Ascent just keeps getting better as well in the meantime, so it will be quite a task. And yeah, let's just head straight over to the rosters if we can. Yeah, everybody should be well aware of what Se7en's roster look like here as well, with beautiful land shots from every player.
It's so funny, man. Something's just odd about it, man. It's so like, I don't know. It's so real. They're so professional.
Yeah,
you can see that these are
these 5 grown men in Amps.
What, sorry?
We have these 5 grown men in Amps standing there next to each other. Yeah, anyway, we're starting with Raymond. Well-acclaimed medic, probably not to anybody's surprise, one of the best guys at the moment.
Definitely, man. Like, the difference between playing against him and playing against, like, 99% of other medics is unbelievable. It's so irritating. He just surfs every rocket. It's so hard to play against him.
And then next to him we have the team leader, Cadus himself, on Demo Man, looking. And just to make things clear as well for everybody watching, these team stats are pretty much just the logs of their week 1 game against our Electro before they left for Rewind. So not too much to draw from this as an average.
Amps is gonna be rocking that 8 KD through the entire season, man. Definitely. What do you mean? These are basically what the rest of the season is gonna look like, for sure. Well, 8.3 KD.
If they manage to keep it together, then yeah, they could actually stay close to these stats for sure. So yeah, they are very much capable of doing that against most of the people.
Amps is definitely a beast on Scout. Complete beast. Like, he slotted into the Se7en playstyle so well, where what they needed was just somebody to stay on the heels and just run in. Like, Se7en style is basically they use their captains as a decoy, essentially. Like, you can see Drak is having 18 deaths per map, which is pretty high, like, considering how dominant their games have been this season. But the reason he has 18 deaths is so that Amps can have 4, essentially. So that Amps and Talash can do an insane amount of work off of their soldiers' play.
Yeah, so that's it for the 7 rosters. We all saw them at Rewind Lane. Unfortunately, not quite living up to the potential due to outside factors, but now we are back at home with everybody, so they probably have the ability to watch out what they eat. And that is the matchup stats, but we'll see at least a sneak peek of what Rakuzan roster should look like. But speaking of which, since we did establish that earlier before the cast started, is that they have a little bit of trouble fielding players today.
Yeah, well, Perez and Ace, I think, are no longer playing for Rakuzan. They had some issues, internal issues. I think Ace wasn't really enjoying playing in Prem. He was having some, instability problems. I mean, last time I scrimmed against him, he rage quit after losing win map, so that's a good indicator maybe of how he was affecting the team atmosphere. And basically what happened was that Perez said that he wasn't going to play without Ace. So instead, they got Raptor and Scruff in, and honestly I think they're both upgrades, if I'm being completely honest.
I think the situation with Scruff was a little bit different as well, considering he was the main player to begin with. Then there was some issues for him that he might not have been able to play, but now he can again, and so he's back on the main slot as well.
I'm honestly not sure what that was, but he is back now, so I guess he's just going to be dominating. I mean, it was a huge loss for them at the start of the season. It was a huge loss because Scruff is Scruff was kind of the backbone of that team. He was what they put their resources into, where if they got the beam on Scruff and Scruff was showing up, he would just tear through anyone. So it's good that they got him back, because Perez, I guess, just wasn't really living up to that performance.
Yes, and since we mentioned that Ace is not playing, we should probably mention who is playing instead, and it's none other than Raptor himself. Many probably remember that name, and if you're not aware, he's a pretty long-standing name at this point in the higher levels of TF2, despite his reputation to drop a bit, but you can't always live down the meme at some point. I
mean, everybody forgets that in that whole season with Arctic Foxes, I think it was, he was playing very, very well. I believe he was... Wait, no, was he playing that season?
Yes, I think.
Yeah, he was.
Actually, I'm not even sure. I'm confused. I was feeling as well. I'm not gonna make any calls here, but he was playing at the top of Prem for sure, regardless.
Yeah, he was definitely capable of playing at Prem. It was just that LAN. I-61, I guess, didn't go too well for him, and people aren't gonna let that down, so... his reputation is bad, but
his experience is definitely there, and for a new coming team, that can definitely help. And I feel like they definitely proved from that alone quite a bit already.
That's a really good point, yeah.
And quick thing to mention as well is that people had some issues with stuff on Rakuzan as well, meaning that actually from the full lineup only 4 people are here today. As we mentioned, 2 Italians had to go. They found 2 Italians to Merc today. Ixi coming in to save the day, because 3 timed out in scrims early today, I think is what happened. So Ixi here on the scout for 3, and Fluo coming in for none other than Raf to fill that.
I mean, I think those replacements are not too bad. Ixi for Sui, they both have pretty similar playstyles, and I would say that Ixi is kind of a... I mean, you can see from last season he played with Nunya, I believe, and his stats every game were great. He just kind of knows how to play his style. Effective. And I think Fluo for Raf, I don't think you'll see much of a difference, to be honest, because if I'm right, yeah, Fluo played with a very similar iteration of Rakuzan in the past. So hopefully Fluo can just kind of slot in where Raf left off, and I think that's a pretty much relatively equal trade. I think Fluo might have an upper hand on that one, though.
Yeah, Fluo also coming from previous experience on Ascent from previous season. So maybe he learned 1 or 2 things from that alone to help him out today.
Yeah, that's definitely why I would give him the upper hand. Like he has that season under his belt. But just looking at the head-to-head stats, I guess one thing that'll be interesting is how Demos can fare against Katus, because honestly I have a lot of respect for Demos from playing against him like last season in Top High, but I'm not 100% clear on how he compares to Katus, because Katus obviously like pretty much a legend, but here we have the matchup actually, so you can compare those stats, and you can see, I mean, there's not too much of a difference. Demos is definitely a force to be reckoned with. I think he can bring out, if he can really perform today, he could change this game realistically. I mean, we mentioned it before, but I'll say it again, like Se7en are going to be rusty in this game. They have not scrimmed since Rewind, and you never know what could happen. I mean, Captain and Drak apparently not going to be playing after tonight, so maybe they're not really going to give it their all tonight, or maybe they will. We never know. But something could happen. I honestly think an upset could be coming here, or at the very least a few rounds from Rakuzan. Should be an intense game.
Yeah, and just getting it early out of Se7en could change the pace so much against the slower controlled playstyle as well, making comebacks for themselves pretty difficult.
That's the thing, yeah. Like, we've definitely seen that before, where Se7en's kind of slow playstyle works against them. If I recall correctly, it's kind of what hurt them really bad at the first Rewind. I'm not too sure about this Rewind, but I remember and just seeing them going down, like they would go down 2 rounds and they'd still just pull out the sniper, and it was just kind of, you know, they'd be sitting there for 5 minutes and time is just running down, and you don't really, you know, you can't really afford to do that when you're down rounds. But from playing against them, honestly, in my experience, you see the full extent of Se7en's prowess when they are down rounds. Like, in my scrims with Ascent against them, how many times we've choked, like 3-0 leads, because they just come out of nowhere with this aggression. So, it could be a factor, it could not be, but again, that's just another point that this match really could go, you know, it could be a surprising game.
And this is where their Rewind warm-up will show its true potential, as it couldn't unfortunately land, but it did happen anyway, so maybe there's just enough steam left in all of them to make this a good game.
Yeah,
and a good rest of the season.
Yeah, and they could be, you know, I guess I would be disappointed with the Rewind results, so maybe they can bring it back today.
Yeah, and we have confirmation that the game does go live. It's Se7en versus Rakuzan. Teams are on their moves to mid of the first mid fight on Snakewater.
Looks like both demo men arrive at mostly the same time. So far, no team really doing anything. I'm expecting a Se7en bomb here, and yeah, looks like Captain's bombing really deep straight away, gets the pick on the Ixie, and the bomb from Ascent, Rakuzan actually came in though and got 2 frags, so it's
aggressive over
here.
the point. Everybody that's coming with him, Fluor from behind gets a good amount of damage onto multiple people. Cleanup is there from Scruff, but Se7en deals with the rest of them. And now just Raptor left alive with Scruff having to escort him out of the midpoint. That was a close call.
Yeah, that was a really close mid actually. The Rakuzan bomb achieved a lot there, but Demo's overextending a little on the point. But Raptor, he was out of there so early, man, but he escaped with his life. But Se7en are gonna know that Raptor was disconnected, so they could be pushing off this ad. No, it doesn't look like Raptor's gonna be coming up on his Uber. So, very close mid-fight. I mean, both teams essentially went for the same thing. They both went for the soldier bomb, and they both achieved pretty much equal things. I would even say Rakuzan's bomb was better, but Demos just got caught out there, so it's a shame, but we can see that this match is definitely not decided yet.
Yeah, and this is where Se7en's slow and controlled playstyle will come to shine, as we have first Uber's stalemate, and this is where, like, people always complain about stalemate, but this is where the good teams differentiate themselves from each other. And Captain is the first one to make some moves, hit just one rocket, Ixie cleans them up pretty quickly. Now it's Rakuzan's move to make something happen, if they choose to do so.
Yeah, I mean, the stalemates, people think that there's not much to them, but there's a reason people can't break stalemates against Se7en. Like, their holes are literally impenetrable. So, it's going to take Rakuzan something imaginative to break that stalemate, and seeing as they did very little off that pick, it looks like Se7en are going to be the ones who are trying to make a move here.
Yeah, they were so careful about even making space into the saw area, and by the time they were in there, it was too late. The soldier was back up. Se7en now back in saw themselves feeling out what they can get away with so far. Kate is just going really good for spamming some sticks around. Everybody else just kind of there to protect him. And Rakuzan seeing what they can do in response as Cadus just takes the space given to him, goes aggressive, throws a lot of damage in.
They're giving him so much respect here. Like, they gave Cadus so respect, but they actually don't pop off the Uber. They took a lot of damage, but they didn't pop off, so this is actually looking pretty good for Rakuzan.
And Raven is stuck in as well with the Uber. He has to surf for his life, and they struggle to kill him for a little bit, but it's not enough. Cadus goes in deep in the meantime, turns everybody around. Se7en comes in aggressive after his Raptor is stuck on the ground, no heals on anyone on Rakuzan, and it pays off so much. Everybody just together on Se7en, overwhelming them. 5 down, Ixi the last one up, has to escape.
Rakuzan thought that was over when they got Raymond. They were like, yeah, we got Raymond. It's pretty good, we're going to win the round now. No, they got crushed, essentially.
Yeah,
but,
and you know, the Se7en takes it, yes. And just like you said, they were too happy with the one thing they got, and Se7en just punishes it immediately.
Yeah, and that's what Se7en are great at. I mean, Rakuzan just weren't ready quick enough to be ready for the aggression coming out from Se7en. You want to take this mid?
Alrighty, both teams rolling out. Cadus arrives at mid, Demos as well, Stickies are being exchanged. Rest of the teams come out, Raptor from rest of Se7en from Catwalk. Both teams just feeling each other out pretty slow. Scuff going in first up top, and so do Rakuzan, so does Guti. A lot of damage onto Raymond, but they can't keep it together. They fall apart, 5 down, bombs denied. People on top taking care of the Raptor going down as well.
Okay, on that mid you see the difference in the, I guess I'll say the caliber of the soldiers in this match, okay? So, the 2 soldiers from Se7en bomb in, and they get like, what, 2 or 3 frags. Like, Drac alone, I think, got 2 frags on that mid, so huge work by him. Whereas, 2 soldiers from Rakuzan bomb in, and they didn't even get a single frag. Only Ixi cleaned up a frag towards the end of that mid, so Se7en, huge Uber advantage, going to be using this into loss very shortly.
Yes, they're already making moves towards Shadow. Uber is on only a soldier and has to deny them, but he gets strike away. Guti has to feel Se7en's Uber first. Sentry goes down as well. Point starts to get played a little bit, but Sticks not being that yet. Rakuzan has to commit onto the point now to block everything that Se7en has to offer. Sticks eventually being popped off, and the time on the point is just too much.
Yeah, Rakuzan needed a bit of cohesion there on that last ult. I mean, to be honest, Se7en's Uber did not get too much work done. They took down the right side and they took down their sentry, but there were still 5 players from Rakuzan up. They could have held that, but they just kind of scattered. They were panicking, they didn't really know where to go, and they ended up losing that fight because Se7en's cohesion is just too good. Cadus a lot earlier on this mid.
Oh yes, definitely. Just pressuring Demos super early on this mid, but taking a lot of damage. Has to be healed up immediately. Takes a lot of heals away from the rest of the team. Guti is hiding in kitchen as well. But all of that's happening, waiting for his opportunity. Se7en making some moves, Captain going forward, Guti as well, but he gets taken out immediately. Fleur jumping into Scout, but he takes some down with him. As suddenly, it's only 2 medics and Captain left on mid.
Yeah, that was a really, honestly nice mid by Rakuzan. It's a shame that it didn't work out. But, I mean, it seems like they're just opting for full forward aggression. I mean, their soldiers are bombing straight into the enemy team, right onto the grass. Whereas you see when the 7 soldiers bomb, they kind of land on the high ground. They can get more work done.
All the Captain hiding below them, under the bridge, waiting for an opportunity. The Raptor is right above him. I don't know if he's aware of that. Nobody's there to call it for him, but he's just patiently waiting. Guti goes there. I don't think he spotted him. No, Guti takes a rocket from above. And now people have to be turned around to deal with that. Fight in the door. Captain wins it as well against a soldier with a buff.
That's just the Captain special, man. Yeah, it looks like Se7en are actually trying to push in here. They're just going to be looking for the force because it is equal Ubers. They don't want to trade here, but they do end up taking a trade, and it's looking very good. I mean, the spawners from Rakuzan should be able to come in by the time this Uber is faded, but Rakuzan, oh my god, Rakuzan, I thought they were overextending, but they end up killing Raymond.
Well, in the meantime, on the backlines, Captain and a Scout, I'm not sure who it is, because fake nicks are beautiful. It's Falash being behind, doing so much work, forcing people back, and everybody's back on second now on Rakuzan.
Oh
Who had the snipe from AMS, switched to sniper while all of this was happening, immediately takes down Raptor the moment he gets the opportunity, and we have a pause just as Cadus is staring down Sierra from mid-air.
18 HP, man. But yeah,
Scruff needs to miss a shot for Cadis to even have a chance to survive this.
who was behind there? Captain and Kalash, wasn't?
Yes, they were. Now it's just Flash left there.
Yeah, they went for the flashy play, but honestly, they left their team in pretty much a 4v3, if I recall correctly, and it ended up with... Oh, we're unpausing.
Yes, and Scruff did miss the shot. So Cadis is dead. Mr. Enchilada himself, Flash, trying to find anything of value there from the backlines, but Damos dances around his pistol. Fluo going aggressive onto the Amps sniper. 3 down on 7. And they're trying to still somehow make this work, as they're still really aggressive.
I mean, it's just chaos at the moment. Se7en are trying to kind of trying to regroup in Saw. Just going to be waiting for the Uber before they push in, because they do have that big advantage. But yeah, I thought Rakuzan were going to win that last engagement when they killed Raymond, but Amps with the snipe onto Raptor, such a clutch play, man, such an insane play. Just wins the fight for his team, essentially.
Yeah, and Se7en coming up on Uber any second, making moves over grass. Cadis and Drag over at the Saw side, jump in, deep by Goti, but he gets taken down before he can do anything. Sticks around the corner, have been dead as well, and all of Rakuzan seems to be giving up the second point off of the disadvantaged situation. Amps going in deep in the lower area, but he has to pay his life for it. Fluo gets chased down eventually, so they find the counter back, and it's 2 down, and this is where the pause happens. Flash just abuses it before
that
he could
is
realize.
So unlucky. Raptor was on 98%, man.
But
that is so unfortunate.
I think they're doing the respect play. Captain didn't step onto the point, even though he could have easily just done that. Yeah, they realize the situation, they do the nice thing. So yeah, what are they doing here? Out of respect, Se7en's moving back. They had a cruel fate at land, they don't want to give anybody a similar experience, so they just move back. Sure, with Uber ahead, but...
I mean, that's such a relief for Rakuzan. They were on like, what, 95% at least? Oh, but Se7en are pushing in with the Uber at it anyway. Oh, that's odd.
But it's not looking too hot right now, they're not getting much. They didn't get any position out of this Uber. The heavy stops them really hard, Raptor stays alive. Flash is sniping though.
They did get 2 picks, yeah, they're taking this in on the left hand side. They're just taking all this space, and the players from Rakuzan are so weak. I cannot see Rakuzan holding this without a miracle. But they're really baiting the point. Oh, there it is. Se7en just cut off the point. I mean, I'm kind of surprised that they would push on that ad, considering Raptor was on like 95% when he timed out. That's just really unlucky. I'd like to see the soldiers from Rakuzan on this mid try and not die immediately. Because they can just do more. If they just land on the high ground, they'll achieve more. That's what the Se7en soldiers are doing. But let's see.
To be fair, Cadis was giving, the captain was giving him a heads up in chat. We are pushing.
Yeah.
Before they did, so they knew about it at the very least. But yeah, new mid fight means new opportunity. Se7en 3 rounds up, 2 rounds away from making it by score. And Rakuzan playing top with everybody, with even the Raptor standing up there, trying the hardest. Good, he gets the first pick. Drag jumps in, tries to deal with that, but he just meets the soldier on heels, has to get out down, and Mr. Enchilada himself, Flash, loses the fight on a point, and this is slipping slowly out of Se7en's control, but in such a controlled fashion that they were able to move everybody out.
I mean, that was a complete contrast to the last mid. On the last mid, Rakuzan just bombed in fully, and on this mid they really tried to play it passive. So they're taking the room into second, seeing if they can get a favorable trade. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, the exchange comes out, or Se7en would hope, but they are the only ones using. Raptor holds onto this Uber, Cadis can't deal enough damage, jumps out before the Uber fades to stay safe. Raptor completely out of danger, and Ixie does go down, but they did get Drag in return. So it's all fine and good, and they're making moves pretty quickly, just as the point gets kept up. They're moving into last from lower. Heavy is now Uber gets popped quickly, but struggles to find much early. Captain goes weak. Cadis jumps away from them. Everybody kites this Uber completely. Raymond does go down though.
Oh my god.
Fluo on the spawn door takes him out before he could leave into safety.
Rakuzan just need to get out here and make sure they can hold second. That sniper of Talash is up. He could be going for plays. Oh, no, never mind. It's oh.
Yeah, we have the Amps spy. Interesting.
Yeah. Se7en aware that Rakuzan are going to have an ad after they manage to get a Raptor out of that situation, which is really, really well played by Rakuzan, that last series of play where they managed to take second without using their Uber and forcing Se7en to. Just so well played. Amps, uncloaking. Oh my god. They have no idea, literally no idea.
But the
Oh.
Soon to be up. He makes this move quick, and he needs to. Uber is about to be there any second.
Yeah, 90%. Oh no, he gets the butter knife.
And this is where Spy Play makes or breaks the situation. In this case, it's a free pick into last. Uber gets popped, Sentry right in front of them, taking down immediately. Sticks on a point, they need to deal with that. 7 rotates over to the left side. Need to get on the point quickly though. Scuff gets so much time. Everybody jumps on this. Demo Stickies do so much work, and that's enough.
There it is, man. The round coming out. They honestly deserve that round very well. I don't think that was Se7en misplaying. I think that was Rakuzan really just playing those situations very, very well.
Yeah, the first push didn't work quite as they wanted, but they did what they needed to get an advantage for a second try, and they didn't make any mistakes this time around. Yeah,
they failed the push into last, but in the end they actually recovered and made it work in their favor as we do come onto this 5th mid.
Yes, 3-1 Rakuzan still having a chance at this as there's still 17 minutes left, and they need to keep up the consistent mids now that they just started to get, as it's a pretty slow damage exchange so far. Nobody committing too deep, as Flash is the first one to try to get something. Scrub does go to it. Koti gets the frag onto Raymond in all of this. 2 down each, but 7 with 14 doesn't matter. They force it back into corner, so much damage. Jack wraps around, tries to get the sneaky pick from behind onto Raptor. Doesn't manage to. Amps is on the chase, however, but Raptor isn't alone. God. But it's everybody on 7 wanting the Raptor pick, and they do get the scout in front of
Raptor's gonna get out here though.
But yeah, he got into spawn. And he dares to walk out now.
How are they beefing this? Oh my god. If they didn't kill that scout, if that scout got oh my god. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, Raptor stays alive, keeps this Uber and takes 7. Sure, they get the midpoint for now, but for how much longer?
Yeah, Rakuzan with the full they're going to be wanting to take this in, but this is such a hard push. They don't. Oh my god, they just ran through Sticky Trap. But the 7 players are completely overextended. They're not going to use this Uber, they're just going to decide to take this
7, yeah, 7 is still in kitchen captain. Want to fight in Saw, wrapped around behind is in choke right now. Amps goes down in meter, the Uber gets converted into kitchen where everybody was still hanging around. Cadus goes down. Raven does stay alive, the saving grace for the situation. And there's
oh my god,
head captain as well, doing so much work. But it's not enough. They get cleaned up as well.
You might not have seen it, but Talash on Spy there just came in and killed 2 people on point for no reason, man. I'm not sure where that play came from, but sure look. Yeah, 7 now. They do have an ad. It's a risky push though, because Rakuzan just about to cap 2nd.
Yeah, Rakuzan wants to abuse the space given to them to just have the pop early, but it doesn't work. They have to back out eventually out of 2nd. Uber still up in contestation for Raymond. Sticks around the corner, they get spotted, no danger there for 7, and no Uber has been popped yet, as there's nothing that would be able to force the Uber out of Raymond either.
Yeah, 7 still have this, well, they actually don't have this ad, but they think they do. Raptor just coming up on the Uber, so this is going to be a trade. Let's see what happens.
Flew first try to get Uber out of the way on 7's side. Not successful. He does stay alive, which is important. Uber committed by 7. Strike onto Raptor, get the exchange out. Still quite a bit later Uber by Rakuzan himself. Raymond is left alone, but Demo's struggling to further damage. Fluo comes in to help, takes him out. Demos does die for it, but 7 is crumbling in this. Swerve on a 5k as well.
Yeah, it was purely after Uber position. I mean, the HP on Rakuzan was really not so good, but they actually managed to win that fight just on position. Scruff running into mid here. Oh, track down on Raptor. Doesn't get the frag. So close though. Oh, actually, it's not that close. Look how healthy Raptor is. But it was a really smart play, I think.
Yeah, they had both soldiers left on mid, and we have Amps on Spy again. They like the Spy plays. They want really, new gimmicks, but so far they had impact that didn't last as long as it probably would need to have a major impact. He's behind them in position. Took some damage. I don't know if they will.
I don't think. I'm not sure how seriously 7 are taking this, but these constant Spy plays aren't going to work. They're only 3-1 up. This could easily come back into Rakuzan's favor. I mean, you can't afford to make these kind of plays, as Rakuzan will be pushing in with a slight Uber advantage. Raymond could get his Uber on this push though.
Yeah, they're making moves on the left side. They don't want to use early, they just kind of make some moves of soldiers in, and Raven goes down. Ixie came in off of the distraction. Everybody was left at 7, completely unaware of who was coming in from the other side, and Ixie gets the medfrag.
Like, I can't believe Rakuzan's read on Raymond right now is unbelievable. Like, in every situation they're just getting this frag. It's so impressive. Like, they did have the Uber ad, but they knew it was slight. they knew that all the 7 players would be distracted, you know, waiting for that Uber, trying to spam down Rakuzan, trying to get the force out. And Ixie just runs in from drop down, gets the kill onto Raymond just as he's coming up on Uber. So now full Uber ad for Rakuzan.
Yeah, they come in from lower, but Luo dies immediately. Uber got committed from the lower area into the sentry, into the heavy as well, both taken down eventually. Flash, I think it was, no, Jack goes down on the left side as well. Numbers add for a second there, but Cadis is stickies as well as another pick by the scout here. Make it a much worse fight for Rakuzan. Se7en hangs onto it.
Yeah, Se7en's positioning there just too strong. They just held their ground completely, and Rakuzan just kind of, I wouldn't say fed one by one, but their aggression was not as coordinated as Se7en's defense.
And Raymond left alone in lobby right now. Flash on the point, nobody else with it. Raymond eventually connects with him. Everybody on both teams arrives at pretty much the same time on second. Big fight ensues. Drag goes directly for Raptor, gets the frag he wants. Raymond goes weak, but does not go down. They're stuck on low ground, however, and see what they can do here. Ixie wants to get the pick, but everybody's protecting them.
Yeah, that was almost really well played by Rakuzan. If they just finish off those frags, the players on 7 were so weak, but now, still with this full overcharge advantage, going to be pushing in. Gotti gets squatted in kitchen, so he's out of the picture, and 7 are probably going to take this one for free. And they're going to roll this onto second pretty quickly, I think.
Yeah, saving grace is forward spawns will be up in time, so there is a chance to make some play happen. And this play so far seems to be Ixie on sniper, still hanging on the forward spawn, waiting for 7 to get into position for him. They go through lower, they're not taking any risk there. And Ixie has no sight on anything meaningful. Sure, he could hit scouts right now, but how much does that mean?
He could have stopped that cap, but Captain with him as well. They were probably aware of the forward spawn, that's why Captain stayed on second, but yeah, such a funny play, man. But,
yeah, this reminded me of how people evolved to go through left side yard on Granary to avoid the sniper on forward spawn. Just go lower, don't take the risk.
Yeah, I mean, nobody expects it. They literally just run straight in underneath you, and it's just like, what do we do now? But Rakuzan with the full Uber advantage and the pick already, they're going to be taking second. But Captain in behind, and the spam from Cadis is taking down Demos, so not looking great for Raptor, who is somewhere I cannot find.
Yeah, and 2 people go back onto last as well while it was happening again. They had the similar play before, but again they get denied from doing any shenanigans on the backline. Sure, Demos and Scruff went down, but 3 down in total with the back cap play on 7 with Uber ad that will surely be gone by the time anything can happen here.
Yeah, so they played that delay really well, 7 did. They just brought chaos. Rakuzan didn't want to push forward, they didn't want to push back, they just kind of stood there, and eventually their Uber advantage has faded away.
And we have another Uber stalemate in our hands again, second to mid to second, depending on your perspective. And like I mentioned before, this is where the good teams separate themselves from the great teams, being able to consistently break these stalemates, as the Uber exchange is 7's play of choice. Raptor takes a while before he pops, he goes weak, but there's a pack he can thankfully take in Saw. They want to make use of the better Uber. Here. Yeah, they want to make use of the better Uber, but they're going so deep, and Blue is the first one to fall. Raptor goes down to Jack, just jumping straight onto him, and 7 is just waiting for people to overextend, like you mentioned.
I mean, I'm not sure what they expected. They had 1 scout in that, like, with 30% Uber, and they were just like, yeah, go in, you can do it. They just basically forced him into a 1v6, and unfortunately that didn't work out.
Yeah, just because you Uber fades later doesn't mean you will immediately win the push.
Yeah.
And they had to learn this the hard way. Scruff, Pyro, Ixie heavy, they throw everything at the point that they have. Pyro down, they deal so much damage though. And 7 struggles to stay alive, only Amps and Raymond. And it seems to be a disaster. Raymond's still alive, but people will surely try to chase him down.
What a play by Rakuzan, man. They played that point so well. I honestly thought that was a goner, but Rakuzan with the hold.
With the pick on the floor, he goes too weak while chasing him down. 1 arrow will do the job.
Oh no, man. You hate to see it. But yeah, Rakuzan's hold there just really strong. They just crushed everyone on the point all at once. The Pyro, the 2 soldiers, and the heavy just coming out in full force.
It looks like 7 very comfortable with parking the boss. Why end the game early when you can just let Amps have some fun on sniper?
Yeah, let's see what he can get up to. He's actually very deep on choke, and a scout's rushing into him, he's gonna die. Oh,
Oh, is he? Everybody comes to help
Izzy.
them.
Oh my god.
7 throws everything they have at them, but at the end, Goti is the one to get the frag. And the exchange comes in from Rakuzan while all of this was happening from the source side of things. And it's just a very passive exchange. Amps uses the opportunity, picks Goti up on the sniper class, and things will calm down as both teams are 1 down with no Uber to speak of.
Yeah, that was pretty chaotic, alright. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what was happening at Choke. It just seemed like Rakuzan weren't ready to help their teammate.
Feed by Valash, almost gets away with it.
I'm not sure where that came from. I guess Talash just saw the opportunity for a flank and came in.
Yeah, they probably just all went back to heal up, and then Flash just saw an opening and Choke in for free. Ixi gets the pick out the captain. Rakuzan making some space with the Scruff just into mid.
He ran in.
Taken down.
Scruff just ran in unchecked. He literally ran straight at them and just nobody saw him.
And
that's so good.
In case anyone missed it from the visuals, you could still hear there was a direct hit on the field on Drag, but he missed everything. So scouts make quick care of that. Captain Forward 1 tries to be sneaky, but everybody knows he's there now. And the scout here, who is it? Scruff still takes quite a bit of damage, but they're just backing off, not taking the risk. And weak damage rockets from Captain from Forward 1 won't really do too much. And nobody from 7 really positioned to capitalize off of that damage either, as Amps is the one on the Playmaker class. He's sniper watching lobby.
Okay, oh, Captain's still in forward spawn. No, he respawns now after getting tagged by its sticky trap. But like that sniper actually really came back to bite 7 because they were essentially 5v6 with that sniper. And Rakuzan just brought the fight to them, just ran in for frags, and in that situation you definitely want a scout instead of a sniper.
Yeah, and that is the play. Fluo tries to jump in over the point, but he gets shut down before he can get anywhere. So, play prevented. And speaking of plays, we have Amps on Spy again.
Yeah, but I'm not sure you saw this, but Amps actually came out of spawn as Fluo sacked. So, Fluo might have seen him, might have not. I don't see Rakuzan checking for a Spy, so I assume not.
He goes really far back as well. Meets up with Fluo in choke. He gets a stab right as he wants to connect with him. And I know he's there, but this will slow them down. Ixi on sniper as well.
Ixi's a great sniper, man. Let's see what he can pull out. He could definitely make a big play.
Well, first they have to deal with Amps. This is a Spy, but he decloaked in front of the sniper, gets dealt with immediately. After getting the frag for his stats, will sure make a good look in the logs later on.
Yeah, that Spy play wasn't going to work. For some reason he was on the Invis watch. I think he thought he was on the Cloak and Dagger. I'm not really sure what happened there, but kind of an odd play by Amps.
When we have the Captain Pyro, I haven't seen that since I watched I-55 demos. And yeah, 7 is just feeling out how much they can do to lose this round at the moment without just giving up everything.
Apparently, man, I guess they're not really showing much respect for Rakuzan right now. Even though it is a 3-1 game, I mean, there is only 5 minutes left, so if Rakuzan want to tie this official for the golden cap, they want to be doing something now, and it looks like they are making some movements over here in lobby. They're just making space for the Ixi sniper, and he does get Amps, so first pick, they're going to be taking room off this. Let's see what happens. Oh, sticky trap though. Sticky trap.
Again, they just walk through the stickies. They don't care. They just go in anyway, and the six gets dead way too late. Everybody's making space. Fluo is so weak. Ixi sniping to protect him a little bit. The heals come in late, but they do come in. Drag does go to Kate is all extends as well. Point is wide open. Uber gets popped by 7 first. 2 down still as the first respawner comes in. Demos protects himself with some insane pipes. Scrub takes Captain down as well. Let's make that another one. Amps goes down as well. Ixi with the headshot.
I mean, they had to do something. If they wanted that golden cap, they had to do something, and they really played that so well. I mean, that Uber trade was so good. Scruff getting 4 kills there, and Demos with some such good pipes to protect himself from the bombing soldier. Just really good play coming out from Rakuzan.
Yeah,
Let's see if they can actually keep this momentum up.
Yeah, Rakuzan just sees they are disrespecting us, so let them show what happens if you do. And they make it a much closer game. 3.5 minutes to get another round on the board to make this a tie. 3.5 minutes for 7 to stall out to win this. Goti goes in deep, finds a lot of damage, but can't take the frag onto Cadis. Raptor playing from top again. Nobody with him though at the moment. Fluo goes down as well. No soldiers for Rakuzan anymore. And this is slowly getting out of control.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what Rakuzan were doing on that middle. It seemed like their aggression was a bit disconnected from their soldiers. And it looks like Se7en are actually keeping up this aggression. Demos is going to go down as well. They're really on this chase for Raptor. They're after getting 3 frags on this chase alone, and I don't think they're going to stop there. They haven't even capped middle.
Yeah, this will certainly take up a lot of time. Just a single scout now, I think it is. Yes, for Nash, it seems. Everybody else just ready on second to do just the rest of the slowing down for the next 2.5 minutes roughly that they need to clock down here.
Yeah, this isn't where you want to be if you're Rakuzan. I mean, equal Ubers on your own last. That's a very difficult stalemate to break, but Ixie might actually have something to say about that.
Yeah, he finds the first track onto the track, makes a sub-opening, but aims on the Huntsman Sniper, just throws arrows into the wide open door of the lobby, sees what he can get. Scruff finds the first track. Both snipers desperately try to hit good shots. Nobody manages to get any. Exchange comes out eventually as Captain is still down. Both Ubers have faded. And Scruff's on the chase onto Raymond. Only Kate is there to protect him, and he doesn't see him coming. So much damage, but it's not enough. Raymond stays alive. Rakuzan not supporting him as well. Ixie hitting some nice shots there, gets 1 kill to start this with, and the headshot as well eventually. Se7en too comfortable now on second. Ixie punishing him forward. Cadis is behind lines, Captain, and both going down. Only the drag heavy, he wins the fight with blue. Cadis jumps in, nice fight,
my god.
Takes down the medic. Demo's the only one up. He will probably be taken down here by the Flash Scout eventually.
Anytime Rakuzan get any forward momentum, Se7en just come in with some crazy like flank play. Raptor going down to Cadis, such a good bomb by Cadis, despite Ixie's efforts. It looks like this is... I'm not sure whose favor this is in.
Well, it's definitely the last effort play of Rakuzan. They get headshot onto the enemy sniper, Ixie wins that fight. Raptor on crits as well, so that's everything they're banking on right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's 1 minute left. That play was... That did seem like a last-ditch effort, but there is 1 minute left and they have a crits advantage. They could really take this round. They honestly could take this round right now. Like, Se7en are all the way back on the last. They do not want to lose this round. And they might not expect this crits. So Demos is going to be coming in shortly with this crits.
Yeah, they have turtled up, heavy up, sentry up. They are ready for anything, but does this include a crits into last? Sentry gun, only another one gets dealt with early. Crits come, Raymond goes down immediately. It's a big one. Captain goes weak as well, but he's still alive, and they fail to find much more frags than this, and they lose 3 people. They get 3 in return, but it takes so long, and a direct hit takes down 2 people at the end of that. It's only Raptor left alive.
Demos with the clutch play, but he just cannot do it for his team. Like killing Raymond there on the first sticky. Raymond was on 95%. That could have been... Oh my god, that could have been amazing, but Se7en do hold strong with the 3-2 victory.
Yeah, Rakuzan just rushed it a little bit too much at the end, and they were so close. And points in this match could be so important as well.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is definitely closer than I would imagine most people expected, even the players of Rakuzan themselves. And you can put it down to throwing, you can put it down to rust from Se7en after not scrimming since Rewind, but it was definitely well played by Rakuzan and a really enjoyable map to watch.
Yeah, definitely. The first I would certainly 100% only attribute to Rakuzan playing well. Later on, Se7en just tested the water, how much they can let this game slip out of their control and still not lose. But Rakuzan made them work for it in the end.
Yeah, I'm just going to take a quick break. I'll be back in 1 minute, okay?
Alrighty. We'll just take logs over here while our friendly man Eskimo takes a short break. Okay, let's see. It was a close game after all. 2-3 in favor of Se7en. And we see some big stats lines. Mr. Enchilada, aka Flash with the top frags, 33 and 15. Also second top damage on the server. Only to be topped by his fellow Pocket Soda Captain. Only going 18 and 15, but having 8.3k damage to 82 DPM. Really solid performance. 5 airshots as well, which I always like to look at, because why not? But Yeah, Cadus is a very good performance. Ixie on his team, 27 and 15. He certainly wanted to go toe-to-toe with the 7 scouts, and he certainly does so for the most part. Not quite enough in the end, but really close there. Make it very even game in the total stat lines. And there we have top devs. I think Eskimos had it pretty well earlier, that they just do some questionable things on it every once in a while, and it just costs them their lives earlier than they need to. And it shows 22 deaths on both soldiers, both Pocket and Roma, for Rakuzan top dying on the server, which certainly isn't the top set you want to have in any given game. 7's highest deaths are 19 each. For, like we said, Drag, it's very confusing if there's 2 people called Enchilada in one game, let me tell you that, but
yeah,
it will do.
Like, you can see Rakuzan's playstyle in these stats. What they basically want to do is just suck in their soldiers and their scouts clean up, because they do have very strong scouts, and you can see it in the KDs of those respective players. But 7 were just too good at cleaning up the aggression from the Rakuzan soldiers. So the Rakuzan scouts could not get work done fast enough.
Yeah, and in return we here see the player comparison stats, who killed who the most, and we see top fragger on the server, Flash, 6 kills on both Rakuzan soldiers, just shutting them down completely. We saw them top dying. You mentioned as well during the cast that they just, on mid, just waste their lives a little bit too much, a little bit too early.
Definitely.
And it shows here, Clash does easy cleanup for him every single time. Only player to get even close to that with 8 kills on another player is Ixie on track.
Yeah. When you look at the medics, I mean, what you want to be seeing here is demos and scouts on top heals, and it looks like 7 actually capturing a lot of heals, I guess, as a goodbye present. I mean, you can see on Rakuzan just how much their soldiers are like, kind of bait, I guess you would say. And they really try to put resources into Scruff. But I think the style actually does work. Whereas 7, I mean, for a soldier to be able to take that many heals, you kind of need to be captain.
Yeah, otherwise I think very respectable scorelines for both medics, very similar. Nobody like falling really short on those in heal stat. And here we see the frags percentage per zone, and we see a big wall of blue all over the map.
I don't really understand these stats. How do they work?
I'm not 100% sure, but the deciding factors, we see big numbers in blue, 7 in control on just about every area, except on last, where they struggled quite a bit. But
yeah,
still,
on their own last. I mean, that's where Rakuzan brought out the clutch plays, right? That last push they made was like so close, man. And the round they got as well, just amazing.
Here we see the top fraggers on each area as well. You see Flash still topping almost everything, except the 1 second point. But I don't think he can be too mad about that, as his performance is just super consistent on this entire game.
He was cleaning up really well, and not only was he cleaning up, he was doing a lot of damage himself.
Yeah, he did the second highest damage, I think, in the game.
Yeah. Very respectable gameplay.
Yeah, and enough about the logs, since we have another map coming up. One people might have forgotten about already after having played the officials on it. It's Granary, Blast from the Past. Since it's technically product week, but not for 7. They just play whatever they feel like at the moment, I guess. And yeah.
7's... I mean, 7 still haven't played their week 2 official against Ascent, so I'm not really sure what's going on there, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I don't even remember what maps it are, but who cares, since now we have Granary, and we talked quite a bit about the soldiers. On mid, it's quite a similar story, I think. In terms of what the soldiers need to do, Snake and Granary are pretty comparable.
Yeah, I would say though that the style of Rakuzan is not going to work as well on this map as it does on Snake. Like on Snake, when you bomb, even if you die straight away, I mean there's so little ground to cover across point, if you get me. Whereas you compared to Granary, I mean, by the time your soldiers are dead, you're probably not even halfway across point. Like, the follow-up is going to be a lot harder for Rakuzan if their soldiers keep dying instantly, as they are now. As they were on Snake, I should say. So this could be a bit more punishing, but to be honest, we did see those passive mids coming out from Rakuzan, and they actually worked pretty well.
Yeah, and a recent development I've caught during the scrim's pre-rewind is that Se7en like doing the thing where they send a roamer on the enemy lamp just slightly behind on top of them, just being annoying, and a lot of teams have caught onto that, tried it themselves, including Rakuzan. I've seen them do
that's
quite
a classic
bit
play
to practice, so Se7en bringing new stuff to the table, but everybody quick to learn from it. Let's see who can do it better here.
Oh, looks like we are going live. So
I would sure hope that Raymond switches off Soldier, then yes he does. So that's that, but we have the spy checking the situation as Se7en is used to doing. They always do that, to just see if there's sniper, if there's crits. They want to know what's up and not be surprised on it.
Map 1 was very, very close. Let's see if Rakuzan can keep this performance up and kind of give Se7en some challenge. As Gotti jumps onto...
Yeah, he goes,
I've
he
never
takes
seen
the
this
pack
before.
away from them. He's right in the face, he gets taken down immediately, so everybody in Rakuzan going over to the right side to deal with Se7en. Stuck at Showcase jumps in deep, but he jumps straight in front of Ixi, and people are dying everywhere, 2 down each. No soldiers for Rakuzan, but no demo man for Se7en, and Rakuzan tries to still play this as much as they can. Se7en stuck in the corner, Scruff pushes forward, takes down one, Saw indeed actually in the end. I missed my works, it was a sword, but the saw was there as well. Raymond stays alive, just barely.
Very, very chaotic play there. Scruff kind of ran in to get Raymond to try and kill him, but ended up getting sawed, but that actually ended up in favor of Rakuzan, because Se7en only had Captain on the direct hit in that Uber. Actually, it could have been Drak, I'm not sure. So Rakuzan with the full Uber ad now. And Am's super close, he's going to get picked up, surely. Oh, he's going to get out. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, nobody was chasing him hard enough. Nobody was coming in from the other side either. Rakuzan is making moves, and it looks like both soldiers are using the direct hit as well. They are confident in aim today.
Yeah, I don't know, I don't really like this disrespect play, if I'm being honest, because not actually winning this easily.
Am's from behind, he sneaked up behind everybody, but it's not working out, he's not hitting anything. Rakuzan staying safe, free pick for them to work with into second. They're taking position, Se7en just throwing some damage over the point, but spam damage is a little bit harder with the direct hit, since you do actually have to physically hit your target. And Rakuzan want to keep the momentum up of the amp pick. Jump in deep, Fluo gets the force, doesn't stay alive, but that doesn't matter as they got what they wanted. Ixi in a little bit of trouble, but he protects himself from drag. Se7en gets absolutely nothing with this Uber, and this is a great situation for Rakuzan now.
Yeah, that's really impressive by Fluo. I'm amazed he was able to get that force, so huge ups for him. And now Rakuzan with the full Uber ad. I mean, Se7en can, you know, do all these funny plays all they want, but Rakuzan is bringing out a serious performance tonight. I think it's very respectful.
Yeah, and at least the scouts trying to still actively out the point. Amps on sniper, Flash on heavy, trying to hold off anything that comes close to them. And Eva comes in from top, trying to get as deep as they can. Raymond takes quite a bit of damage, but he's still alive, and the heavy is there, and nothing much shooting him aside from one soldier. And it seems to be enough for Se7en to hold onto this one now. 2 down each. Raymond does go down now. Ixi just walks in again, and nobody saw it coming. Goati's still there on last, on top. He's so weak, he will take him down. He would have created anyway, but Flash wants that on his logs.
They get these clutch plays onto Raymond every single time they lose a push, man. It's so good.
Ooh, Flash once more, but the splash pipe as well, and the sticky. Demos is insane. Hits one pipe, the second one was dived on the scout behind him, and Flash had to die for it, and Amps
and they're gonna push up
as well. Yeah, no scouts to defend anything here.
And only direct hit soldiers.
Raptor goes down to Cadis' part, but they're
Cadis down as well.
Point needs to be contested.
There you go.
And it's just not enough.
Sui in the lead against Se7en. I mean, Rakuzan in the lead against Se7en, I should say.
Well, same thing really, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, Sui isn't playing, but I mean, really good performance from Rakuzan. Really good performance from Rakuzan. I mean, Se7en throwing a bit, but they shouldn't be. Like, Rakuzan want to show them, like, you can't just throw against us or else you're going to lose. Like, they are actually going to lose if they keep playing like this.
Yeah, and who wants down Legacy to go down with throwing?
Yeah. So, Looks like Rakuzan really struggling to get any position at the start of this mid, but
Yeah.
got he deep, but he's getting baited. The rest of his team just not there to support him. And Se7en just really crushed that aggression. I mean, Rakuzan had so little position at the start of the mid that that aggression was doomed to fail.
Yeah, they just completely stuffed in and garage. Se7en going aggressive fast. They saw them coming from right side last bit, and they just settled with countering it to the T, and it worked perfectly. Raptor did stay alive though, which is the saving grace. He comes up onto any second invasion. In fact, yes, before Raymond does, and it can be a bit more comfortable. But Raptor gets left alone, and he drops.
Why would he do that?
Direct rocket takes him out. And it should make it much easier for Se7en now, as they have Poplar Uber on last. Everybody from Rakuzan is dancing around point, trying to not die. And they do find some frags in the meantime, but they don't have heals. And slowly they get whittled down, 3 against 3. Scruff has to go back for help. Damos is not so lucky. And Scruff on the way into the fight.
Yet, it's not decided yet. Fluo gets 2 picks, Captain and Talash down to Fluo.
He just takes down the medic himself, switches back, has advantage at the end of the day.
Fluo completely clutched that for his team, getting 2 frags there. That could have so easily have been around for Se7en, but oh my god. After Raptor throwing with that drop, I'm really not sure what that was, because he had a lot of time to pop. I guess he just didn't want to use, I don't know.
Yeah, he probably was confident in the fact that he could serve that, but it was direct in his face. Not much he can do about that. Still, they got a really good play out in the end, himself included, killing the medic as Pyro. And it saved the situation so much. They have, sure, only 20% advantage, but it's just a good safety net to fall back to. As Goti finds the first frag here in this push on the flank side, and they want to keep the momentum up.
They're gonna have to be quick here.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to. Yeah, like you said, the Uber advantage is slipping out of their hands. Only 10% now after making moves into mid. Se7en is playing really far back, trying to buy as much time as they can for Raymond to get his Uber. Uber gets committed, it's an exchange on mid. Fluo the first one to fall though, and Raptor, his Uber is gone and they need to leave as quickly as they can. He's weak as well. Scruff gets spammed down for his medic, and Se7en wins this fight.
Yeah, and they're going to keep this aggression up. I mean, 2 picks. They want to see if they can get some more and end up getting the wipe and rolling it onto last, but Rakuzan do not want to let that happen. They are really just playing it safe and playing it smart.
Yeah, they don't want to give up second just yet. They try to delay this for the spawns to arrive, but this takes so much time. Demos with a nice fight onto Captain. Flank is very active. Cadis gets 1 pick. And Drag as well. Everybody storms forward on Se7en. The floodgates have opened, and they find 4 frags in total. Only Raptor and Scruff left alive, and they will struggle to win this fight. Points get played, and Se7en just storms in, captured right under their noses.
Yeah, Se7en played that sequence really well. That trade on mid was just completely in their favor. Their position, their damage, everything. I mean, that's kind of the performance you want to see when Se7en are down rounds. That's what I mentioned earlier, like, when they're down rounds, that's when they bring out serious play. But let's see if Rakuzan can keep up their own performance, where they are doing really well.
Yeah, and my eyes are immediately on what weapon the Se7en soldiers are using to see how serious they are taking it. And I see Originals, which to me says tryhard mode is on for this mid-fight. As both teams arrive, high bomb there by Drag onto the lamp, as we mentioned, doesn't settle with it S. Raptor goes forward, he can't just sit there and spam damage, still tries to go for a play, doesn't take him out, he gets taken down on return. Goti goes down himself as well. Rakuzan kind of stuck on their own side of mid as Se7en pushes forward in the meantime. Fluo comes in, crashes to Captain. Yeah, Amps behind. He tries his hardest. Everybody's stuck in the death corner of Granary, and they just get slowly whittled down. Raptor gets a saw and has to use Demos. Did go down, but he still has Scruff with him. And Raymond doesn't have it. Oh, they're beefing though. Raymond still alive. No. Yeah. Scruff gets it eventually, but Raptor will die, but it took way too long. And they got the medic trade, sure, but it could have been so much better.
Yeah, I mean, at least they did get the kill onto Raymond, because otherwise that would have been a full Uber advantage for Se7en and they would have been able to roll that to loss. Whereas now, I mean, it's more of an equal fight in second. If Rakuzan can get out quick enough, they're very, very slow right now. I'm not really sure what's happening. Yeah, they're still on second. They should be able to take some room in yard, but it looks like Se7en are pushing the flank, busting the flank here.
1v1 flank here. Ixi was amp. Ixi wins it. Flash on the hunt, Goti cleans him up, everybody's just trading right now. Captain there wins the fight for him, but Scruff has rotated over. And he's pretty hard looking for this pick, but Captain gets out. He's the winner of this fight at the end with 4 for 3 trading.
That was literally just, like, an MGE tournament in left yard. I mean, they literally just walked in taking 1v1s over and over. And I guess Se7en came out on top.
Yeah, that instantly loses Rakuzan the second point with 2 people. Kinda hard to keep the point alive. Se7en slight advantage, not much. Maybe they play it fast. We'll see any second they come up on you. But they have a spy on Flash, so I would not be surprised if they choose to play it slow. And they're making space for him as well, or rather there just is a lot of space he can use for free as he takes a peek. And Fluo has to die for it, nobody is there to help him quickly enough, he gets spammed down around the corner. This is the first pick, Ixi on the counter sniper.
Yeah, I guess Se7en just contented. I mean, it's 1-1, they don't have to break any stalemate, but they're actually pressuring really, really hard. Drak in from window gets the pressure. Oh, but a snipe out from Ixi, I think.
Yeah, Ixi hits amps, that's the pick. Uber out from Rakuzan, but only Rakuzan. Se7en pretty happy with it. Drak flying around now. Nice shot by Ixi, takes him out mid-air. But how much could they save? As it's a really bad situation. Fluo goes for the force, gets it, and Uber has to be committed back to deal with him before they can go forward, which stuns a lot of potential. They peek in, the Uber fades, they go back, let the sniper do the work.
That play by Fluo, such a clutch play. I mean, Rakuzan are so good at just equalizing these Ubers in the most unexpected ways. I mean, that could have been another round loss for Rakuzan. I mean, Se7en had the full Uber advantage, all they had to do was hold on to it, but Fluo just didn't allow it, I guess.
Yeah, in situations like these, you just need to know how much you can commit onto the medic. They just committed one and it worked perfectly. Flash gets the first pick onto Goody again. This is how we started last time around. This time, Raptor has the advantage, however. Raymond can't just pop in for an easy time onto last. But Flash takes so much space, nobody's looking at one pipe. Enough, he still gets another shot. Ixi wins that one for his team. I just heard that headshot, I was scared.
I honestly thought he dropped Raptor. Oh my god. Like, he got 2 shots. How can he get 2 shots? He just walked through. Oh my god. That is so unbelievable. I mean, Rakuzan cannot allow that to happen. But now Se7en are allowing it to happen with Ixi. Oh,
and they're dropping down from the window. Amps just walks forward. Everybody's distracted. 2 picks on each side. Not quite perfect for Se7en, but they still want to go with this. Who have been committed. Raptor's already weak. He can't milk this for much longer. Anything can kill him easily. But nothing is coming his way. Hades gets stuck in. Jumps around for his life. Rotates over to the left side. Beats with Fluo. Eats another rocket. Good. He comes in from behind. Kate is still alive. Push on second for Rakuzan, not too successful, but Raymond stuck in the corner. Surprise heavy from top, takes down 2, Fluo from behind, 1 rocket. It's a really messy situation, but Rakuzan wanna do the big thing. The heavy drops down from top, takes out 1, but is that enough? The Rakuzan players weak. Raptor alone, amps on him with heals, 2 soldiers, and another one from behind. It's Drak actually trying to do his hardest. Amps goes down, and with that Raymond has to get out before he can get chased down.
Complete and utter chaos, man.
But chaos that favors Rakuzan at the end of the day.
Yeah, they managed to get a hold on to second point, but it looks like Se7en have something to say about that, and Rakuzan just giving up the ground for free, I guess.
Yeah, they have disadvantage.
Oh, that is it, yeah. But I mean, that play, Raymond survived in Lunchbox in a 1v1 against Scruff for so long. Yeah. And he just managed to stay alive, and here they are pushing in because of it.
Yeah, the heavy last push on Granary is something you see every once in a while, but why do the work when you can just have everybody come your way instead? Almost works really well, but there was too much chaos going on. The heavy couldn't save the situation on his own. Ixi sniping again, and Rakuzan honestly already can be decently happy with the situation, being tied with Se7en, getting for sure some points out of this, but they have shown they have the potential to get more out of this game.
Absolutely, man. I mean, you saw, like, Se7en did turn it up after the first round, and I doubt they've really stopped yet. They are still trying, like, they are trying to win this game. And, I mean, Rakuzan are holding off so well. They have had so many clutch plays, and it looks like they got 2 picks, so they're making space. Ixi watching the point. Se7en just really do not want to peek this sniper sideline, and as a result, they're giving up most of the space. But they are really just kind of holding this. They're content with just sitting back. I mean, Rakuzan aren't going to get on the cap. Look at Cadis' stickies.
Yeah, both teams are playing it as like they're holding 7, but only 7 is in control of second at the moment. And Ixie finds the first rank. This opens up a lot of opportunities, making a lot of sense. Ixie gets the next pick on Cadus as well. 2 down, no sticks on Grand second is always a problem. And the sticky deck bug is actually what cost them this situation so much. The sticky couldn't just be dead. Cadus, or not Cadus, Captain could be saved. Uber Exchange comes in. Big fight happening, 3 down on Rakuzan. 7 walks on the point as quickly as they can. Nobody quick enough to contest that.
Yeah, I mean, these situations are just so chaotic, man. Like, Rakuzan were so keen there. Honestly, I'm not sure they should have stayed in that position. They were all bunched up in those corners. They could have just sat back on last and played the sniper from there, but just took too many risks and it didn't really pay off.
Yeah, 2-1 to Se7en, the leading NA can be a bit more relaxed with the scoreline now, but Rakuzan still has a lot of hope left in them. 15 minutes left in this, and the next midpoint starts with a lot of damage being exchanged just over the point. Fluo, the first one took a bit deep, he gets taken to such low health. Drag as well, going in for the medic, nothing gets done with that. Everybody on 7 stuck in the corner in front of Choke with lots of damage coming towards them, but they power through it, they move forward. Fluo in from behind, can't finish off a single frag with that play. Drag neither, but that doesn't matter as everybody in Rakuzan is slowly being pushed back. Amp finds the next frag, they want to keep going, and he chases down the medic as well. That is looking really tough for Rakuzan. Raymond in a lot of danger, the Ixie wants it, but he doesn't have enough loaded, and he dances around everyone, but it's not enough. You
hate to see it, man. Like, that was so clutch from Ixie. He got Raymond down to like, what, 20 HP. If he had made that play, that would have been just a saving grace for Rakuzan, but instead, no, they lost that mid. I mean, 7 just really held their composure. They were very weak at the start of mid, they had very bad position, but they had Drak behind, and essentially that let them get out of the corner, and they just really played well off that and ended up killing Raptor. So
yeah,
they do have a full
Rakuzan soldiers in position to make some plays. We have Guti in drop down through, just on the yard. But what is Guti's idea here? He drops down, off drop down, is positioned behind.
He's completely unchecked
by the rest of the team.
Oh! Onto Raymond. Raymond surf!
We gets one.
No!
He surfs it, but Guti dies. And Raymond stays alive. Manages to get out of that one safely.
Just such a good surf by Raymond. I mean, he was caught completely unaware. Gotti got that. That was free for Gotti, but Raymond, no. Just, you cannot make those plays against Raymond. He's just
and a wide open last point. Push comes in, Raptor dies. And 7 is all over that. Take down 3 people total. Point gets played heavily. Rakuzan has to throw everything they have on it, but it's not enough. Only Demos left alive. And the point has been kept 3-1 to 7.
If Gotti was able to make that bomb onto Raymond, man. But bombing Raymond is not like bombing any other medic. Any other medic would have been forced there, but Raymond's skill just pulling him through, I mean, for his team. And yeah, 3-1 lead, it's going to be a lot harder for Rakuzan to take this one back, but if they pull out some aggression on mids, they may be able to, you know, bring this back.
Yeah, we have Demos going into the garage side of things, where Cadus went top. They meet each other on the right side. Drag plays the lamp, everybody just stabs each other down on the right side. Fluo, the first one to call to Captain. Guti jumps up as well. Lots of damage being done, everybody just fighting a big fight, but Rakuzan had already lost their heals. And the both scouts coming in from behind, trying to kill the medic. They deal so much damage to everybody, but it's not enough. Amps wins that with some help of his soldiers.
And
7 gets away with it.
And Demos going down really late, that's actually not good. Like, that's gonna be, it's gonna make it much harder to get a hold on second when 7 come flooding in with the super advantage. But I mean, Rakuzan, I'm not sure what their plan is. They're just sitting in garage while their soldiers bomb in and die. I mean, in that situation, you need to follow soldiers.
Fluo's by, sneaks up from Z, gets the step immediately to Raymond. Nobody there to protect him in any way. He didn't see it coming either. Quick Uber out of the equation, and Kritzkrieg up on Raptor in return.
Ooh, Kritzkrieg. Yeah, that actually, honestly, Kritzkrieg could be better pushing out of this point than Uber. I mean, this is a notoriously hard last to push out of, especially with Demos going down so early. I don't think Rakuzan will even want to push out without Demos up beforehand. But they are going to take this crit in pretty soon onto
Se7en
Fluo.
is so aggressive though, they just overwhelm Ixie on
Fluo with the
left
crits though
shoulder.
behind them. Fluo's behind them with the crits. Oh! Huge play!
He gets everybody.
2 frags, 3 frags.
Cadus hits the pipe onto Raptor in all of this though.
Oh
Raptor
my
goes down.
God.
Captain,
Oh,
big
Fluo.
air shot by
Oh my
Fluo.
fucking-
Absolutely destroying all of Se7en.
Oh my god! Oh my god, man.
And only
Fluo.
Blanche left alive.
That is literally the crits of dreams, and then he gets an air shot. I mean, Cadus did amazing to get Raptor in that situation, but Fluo is going insane on this map. And he's actually behind Raymond again, he's just pressuring them out. He's behind them, he's jumping Captain, making a lot
He
of space
doesn't
in
hit
left yard.
the perfect jump he wanted. He hits his
Oh.
head on top of the thing.
Yeah.
And he gets taken down. There's the M Spy as well. He takes down Raptor
Oh
and
my
all of
God.
this. And Rakuzan are 2 down already. They will be hard pressed to leave second as quickly as they can. Se7en moves in very comfortably here. Nothing much meeting them there. Aside from a few stickies that really can't do much. Goti tries to get the play down. Doesn't get much. Those stickies actually take down Captain to make it a lot better for them, as there's only 3 people in the fight. Amps respawning and Rakuzan fighting for their lives. Fluo takes down the medic, takes down Cadus as well. It's only Flash left alive and a heavy is slowly whittling him down, but he still manages to take down Fluo. He sees his performance and raises his own in response.
Both teams are going absolutely insane here. But we have another spy play again from Se7en, and this time they're going to be looking for the backup. And
He didn't hear it.
Oh, no,
It gets
no,
spotted
no.
by Scruff though, and this time it can be stopped just in time. Scruff does have eyes where Raptor doesn't have a headset.
yeah, I mean, I'm really expected Amps to go for the backup there. I mean, he probably would have got it if he went for it, but no, he goes for Raptor and he gets spotted. Very, very lucky from Rakuzan. As Raptor is coming out into this right side yard, they still have uber advantage, and they're going to get yard for free. While Fluo is actually in behind, making a lot of space. Rakuzan should be able to get in for free now. But Cadus up on the back, and oh, tracks in with the bomb, picks up Demos with a nice direct. Looks like Cadus, Se7en just not relieving the pressure at all.
Yeah, even numbers. Rakuzan now up on the Uber.
Amps on
Raptor
spy
has,
though,
but
Amps on
everybody's
spy.
so weak.
Oh.
Amps Spy gets
Oh
the
my
step again,
God.
and the face step onto Goti waiting for the pack. And it's a total disaster. They just wanted to not use early, and they were already losing numbers, but they wanted to hang on to this even longer.
Amps is going to have like 400 DPM from all of this spy damage. Like, how many backstabs has this guy gotten this game?
Yeah,
so,
Fluo
good.
is in chat as well. Amps more like sideshow. Just spy play after spy play after spy play here on Granary.
But Raptor actually gets a saw onto him, kills him.
Well, maybe that was what the sideshow comment was about all. After all here. Who knows? Uber push comes in anyway, and Raptor only has 24%. At the end, point gets started. Cadus just sneaks onto the corner without getting the stickies. Se7en keeps fighting it out, only 2 up, and it's looking really dire for Rakuzan. Stakes have been dead. Tragically lost his life for it, but there's 3 people in blue that can easily cap it off, and only Goti up.
You have to wonder how Rakuzan are feeling right now. I mean, every time they make a clutch play, it just gets thrown right back in their face. And I mean, when you're 3-1 down, that's gotta hurt your whatever, motivation.
And Se7en has returned to let's throw mode. This time they've gone up 4-1 before they do it. 3 rounds buffer. Maybe this time it won't get as close as it needs to. Cadus sticky jumper as well. Tries to go aggressive, hits some sticky pipes, but it's really just not working. Kratos on his way to the pack, hits his head on the catwalk, and all the off-class just aren't working. You can throw all you want with funny classes, but you still kinda need to do anything worthwhile to actually have fun doing it.
Rakuzan proved that they are a force to be reckoned with. Even against, I mean, definitely considered the best team in Europe. But Se7en still just with his BM plays, I really don't get it. I mean, Rakuzan is giving like some serious competition right now. And they are pushing into last with this full uber advantage.
Yeah, they're getting so deep before they have to use point. Has been played as the Uber comes out. Backcap gets started, but they are getting the frags on last. Point wide open, K-Stick is not a 4-2 quick conversion. And Se7en off class is just not knowing how to do anything.
Did they not learn this from last map? That Rakuzan are going to show you that they are not going to be thrown against, you know? They are not just going some team that's just going to be mocked. I mean, they have enough skill to really compete with the best in Europe.
And Se7en this time, at least no sticky jumper to it. Probably learned a lesson at least for another few minutes before it would probably go back to the old fashion again, as we have a good old standard mid fight. Guti goes deep, Fluor goes enemy crate, Guti goes down, however everybody in Rakuzan just over the point aggressive, and Jack on the lab just really can't do anything from that position, but he is still behind, and Se7en pushes back. They try their hardest. Raptor takes so much damage. Jack loses the spawn, and the meaty pick eventually takes them out, gets taken on in return, but that doesn't matter as the frags are coming their way, and Rakuzan's aggression on mid not rewarded with anything.
No, I mean, I really don't know what happened on that mid. Just kind of bodies being thrown everywhere. Rakuzan really desperate for another round, but Se7en just too strong on that mid.
Yeah, and Raptor spawns with crits again. They know if they want to make something happen, it needs to happen fast before Se7en can react.
That's a really bad death from Demos. That's going to make this last pretty much unholdable unless Rakuzan pull out a miracle.
Yeah,
which they have
He's
done.
just looking at them. Well, door opening for the snipers, probably not the best alonest medic, as the Uber comes in. Raptor only on 40% now, and Uber does decent work, takes down 2 people. They lost amps in all of this, and Scruff takes down another one as well. Captain jumps in,
this is actually
both
holdable.
going aggressive, takes down both of them immediately. And this is looking really tough. Demo's up now, but might be too late as he gets pushed away from the point. Se7en extends the lead 5-2 again.
For a brief moment there, that looked salvageable for Rakuzan. Demos was up. I mean, they were 4v4 essentially, but just disconnected. Demos and Raptor not really with the rest of his team, and then it was just him and Raptor left alive. So, and it looks like Se7en are back on the throw mode with the amp spy on mid.
It's the only off class at the very least. So that's that. They have learned, hey, maybe let's play mostly normal tier 2 to at least have something going for us. So Rakuzan responds with completely normal tier 2. Yeah, Captain gets the airshot, but he goes down himself. They trade. Nice airshot by Fluor as well. Take down both of them. Cadis goes down as well. 3 down, Spy gets dealt with, and Se7en stuck at choke with a soldier behind as well, but really far back. He won't come in anytime soon. Fluor goes in really aggressive. But there's a scout in front of the medic, and he can't do anything about it. 2 scouts against 1 with heals each.
Drag in from behind.
Drag coming in from behind, yes. He wants to do work for his team, help them out. Raptor takes so much damage. But Scruff's doing such a good job of fighting against
and gets the force.
Raymond and Flash. Eventually Raptor has to use here as well, but they have committed really deep in. The spawns are coming in now, this might be the saving grace. They still commit in deep with this, they want to get value out of this Uber. Cadis gets jugged around by 2 scouts, gets taken down. Flash behind lines, he gets spotted though, and nothing is being done of it at all. Until Guti arrives, he makes quick care of that. 3 down on Se7en, still on yard. They want to get some picks, they get Scruff. Deep jump in, Fluor just bounces on their heads, but that's still resulting in deaths for both sides.
Fluor very ambitious on that bomb. Yeah, it looks like they're going to keep on pushing. I mean, they are disrespected again with the spike to mid, but no!
Uber Pyro class, Valve, please, what are you doing to us? As it takes down 1 player and almost gets another one as well, really weak.
Ooh, Raptor and Ixie though, in from behind. Onto Captain on... Oh,
he just dodged so many shots, and Ixie saves it as well. Insane.
Again, this is just complete chaos. I'm not really sure what's happening. Captain actually pushing out. They do have a slight Uber advantage, and they do get 2 picks out alive, but Se7en are going to keep up this aggression. They're going to get another pick onto Ixie, although Cadis does go down. Raptor is going to be trying to escape here.
But Amp is right in his face, he's missing but much longer. He misses so much. Captain as well, everybody is missing, but eventually it's enough to still take him out.
It was a valiant effort. I mean, Se7en are just kind of... They're bringing chaos, and Rakuzan are bringing chaos, but Se7en are just slightly better at dealing with it. I mean, Rakuzan are making some really serious plays right now. As it looks like Se7en...
They're just walking over them, and Raymond goes down. Ixie takes down 2, and Fluor with a nice shot on Captain, make quick work of him. 4 downs, all of the sudden. Se7en just not paying him enough attention.
Raymond in chat asking Ixie if he wants to join Se7en there. So definitely a really good play by Ixie.
Yeah, Ixie has had an insane day today.
I mean,
speaking of insane, Amps on Spy again, he had some good stuff going, but he just straight up misses that stab. and he gets dealt with immediately.
Yeah, I mean, it's 5-2 and there's only a minute left, so realistically, you know, they can make all the nice plays they want, but this is going for Se7en, and looks like Se7en have won this official 6-0 in the ETF2L.
Really unfortunate. There was so much good stuff for Rakuzan.
Yeah, I mean, if I was in Rakuzan, I would be so happy with this official.
I don't know if I would be happy about it, seeing as I would probably be more upset that I didn't get a single point out of this, and I was so close.
I mean, that's true, but like getting a point against Se7en for if I was in Rakuzan, like I wouldn't expect to, but to make it this close, and for my players to like, if my players were making these insane plays, like the rest of the season would be looking very, very bright. Although saying that, Fluo was a merc, and so is Ixie, so maybe they'll just get Fluo and Ixie on mains from now on. But I mean, Scruff, I mean, Demos, Gotti, they all made insane plays.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like the past works have paid off decently well. Not quite enough to get some points, but had a really strong showing, definitely. And that is the game over. Se7en wins 5-2, gets all points today. Rakuzan so close to success, but it's just not enough.
Yeah, Se7en apologizing for the 3 scouts there in chat, so I guess they didn't want to troll that hard.
I think they didn't realize. I would be surprised if Rakuzan would be that upset about it in that time.
I doubt
to
so,
make
yeah.
something happen about it.
I mean, I can't see that really being, you know, I can't see rules being enforced when the game was, like, literally over. There's no way for Rakuzan to come back there, so it shouldn't be a big deal. So, yeah,
as long as nobody wallbucks, everything is fine.
Exactly, that's exactly it. But, yeah, really, really enjoyable game. I mean, could have been a 5-0, 5-0. Like, you could have expected that, and what we got today was so much better than that. And we are going to go over to the logs here now.
Yes, and I see a big 40 on Flash.
Oh my god.
Really messy game, and scouts just thrive in these situations. 40 and 17. Insane performance. Flash had such a good day today.
Yeah, his fantasy TF2 is going to be so good. Like, that's exactly, you're exactly right. Like, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, the combo players of Se7en, I mean, in this chaos, all they have to do is sit back and frag, and I mean, you can see it on Talash and Captain. Talash was on 20% heal, so I imagine he wants the combo skirt today. But you can see it, I mean, Captain 30 frags, Talash 40. Like, there's not too much to be gained from the logs here, as a lot of this was just complete chaos, but I mean, you can gain something. I mean, you can see that Captain was going absolutely insane. And another thing you can see that I definitely noticed during the game is Fluo on 16 air shots, which is more than twice the next
and
soldier.
Sure, Granary has inflated stats, but there were a lot of legit ones.
Yeah, like, I mean, there are bugs on Granary, but even with those bugs, Captain and Drac only got 6 each, whereas Fluo gets 16. I mean, it's definitely you know, something to look at.
And here we have Met stats for a chaotic game. 3 drops total, 1 drop on Blue, 2 drops on Raptor. And yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely a big factor. I mean, the Ubers for Se7en were just a lot more constant. They were a lot more stable. Even within this chaos, they were able to hold it together. And I mean, Rakuzan being a less experienced team, it's going to be much harder for them to do anything in that sort of situation, other than DM, which they definitely accomplished.
Yeah, DM was strong, but then, like you said, the Ubers were just lacking in comparison. There were a couple of situations on both maps where they just tried to make some exchanges happen, and Se7en just played into that and won them by just sitting back and relaxing and taking the Uber late.
Yeah, exactly. And you can see the drops here on both medics from those. Well, I know on Raptor from those spy plays. I'm not sure which was the one on Raymond. I can't quite remember.
I'm not sure, actually. There was so much going on in this game.
Yeah.
The one drop I do remember is the one on last where Raptor just didn't pop.
Oh my god.
That was definitely a game-changing one.
Yeah. I mean, that would really hurt. But they actually held the last, so... It would have actually been game-changing for Rakuzan. I mean, their mood would have been so up at that point. But yeah, you can see the kill stats here. Talash just demolishing Fluo. 13 kills on one player. That's like a third of his frags, almost.
Yeah, and half
just
of
under
Fluo's
a third.
deaths.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have the team comparison stats, and it's reasonably close. It was a messy game, so
Yeah,
team kills, close damage, still quite a bit of hard.
That's exactly
3K.
it. Like, those stats actually right there just perfectly say it. I mean, Rakuzan did more damage. They were going crazy in these DM fights, but Se7en with the stability actually get 15 more frags despite having at least 2,000 less damage. And that's just really impressive to me that they were able to hold it together.
Yeah, that is the experience showing, definitely. That they just have so much team experience that they just, like, who cares about the higher damage there? We get the kills.
Yeah. I guess there's not too much more to be gained from these logs. It was a really, really good game. I mean, Se7en maybe were slightly rusty from Rewind, but again, you cannot deny how well Rakuzan played tonight. It was a really, really enjoyable game to watch.
Yes, and I hear mumble noises, which usually means people are joining for interviews. Oh, we have the man himself, as you mentioned, the big man on Rakuzan's Scruff, joining us for the interview.
Hi.
How are you feeling after this interesting game?
I'm feeling pretty disappointed. We definitely could have got the last round on Snakewater. I mean, they weren't playing seriously, but we'll just ignore that for a minute. But we could have got a point on Snakewater at least. The rest of it, they just destroyed us.
I mean, when they weren't playing seriously, you guys destroyed them. So I think you can take some pride in that. Like, were you... did you feel like that in-game? Like, did you feel... Was the atmosphere that you expected to lose, but you were actually doing a lot better than you expected? Or was it still just wanting to win regardless of their reputation as the best?
Definitely. The latter more. Like, we wanted to win the whole time. Kind of ruined our ego, though, because they were just destroying us when they stopped trying. When they stopped not playing seriously.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say they were destroying you. I mean, it was a lot closer than maybe a lot of people would think. Is that just the attitude you take into every game? That you're just going to win every game regardless of who they are?
I think well, in this game, like, we didn't think we were going to get a point in the first map. Then we came back to 3-2. We all thought we were going to get the last round like we did against Nanya. And then we failed. And now we're back to square one.
Yeah, but, I mean, this could definitely be an ego boost for you, I think. Like, to be able to put this performance up against Se7en, I think it was really impressive.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, the real important game is against Aura and Bus Crew. And if we get 6 points out of both of them...
Oh, I thought you were saying against Aura to BM me, but go ahead.
Oh, yeah, that was an easy game last season. This season, it's against Aura and Bus Crew. And if we can get 6 points out of both of them, we should probably make playoffs. But Ascent and Se7en, they're both games that you hope to get a point out of, but you don't really think too seriously at the end of the day.
That's true, yeah. Like, this season is very, very close in the middle of the league. It's really unclear at the moment who's going to make playoffs, so that's a good point.
Definitely.
Let me try and think of something else. Like, were you as hype as I was on Granary when you started making, like, not you specific, like, not only you, but your entire team was just making these insane plays?
Ixie was going absolutely nuts at points. But yeah, it was pretty fun to DM them, and then we still lost, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, but you definitely held your ground in terms of DM.
Yeah. It's always nice to pick something out of the game.
Alright, we're going to do shoutouts now, so I guess we're going to finish up these interviews. Scruff, do you have anything you want to say before we do shoutouts?
Alright, shout out to Ixie and Fluo for murking and both also being insane. Shout out to my team for playing and not tilting in the official. Shout out to you guys for casting it. Shout out to Swee for being Swee. Yeah, so.
Oh yeah, I should ask you that actually, just before we finish up. What happened to Sui?
His power died.
Oh
Small
no.
Swedish village, hadn't he?
Right. But Dom, do you want to do your shout
Shout out to Copenhagen Games, the first LAN I will attend ever, so that should hopefully be interesting. I've looked up some teams. Looks quite interesting. We have Lego, we have Basku, we have assorted players from random teams coming together for probably some LAN mixes of high caliber play, so I'm looking forward to that. I will be casting that too, so that should be fun.
Yeah, I'll see you there. Alright, and I'll shout out Ascent or Electro. Hempus in Vietnam. Hopefully you're watching this, man. Who else? Omertal, Stormy, Triangle. Yeah, man. Alright, epic one. You want to sign us off, Dom?
No, with that I think we close this cast out. You have been watching Se7en versus Rakuzan, the catch-up game from week 4 in week 5. Confusing stuff with Se7en's schedule, but we'll get back on track as this week continues, and we see you in the next few days with the rest of week 5.